Ramble.
This episode is presented by DoorDash. Use promo code ANYTHING at checkout for 50% off your first order of $12 or more. Hello. Listen, I feel like I've been talking about too many topics that are like challenging for me to talk about. I feel like my last few episodes have been heavy and very thought-provoking for me, anyway. And I'm just in the mood to keep it light today. Like, I just want to talk about stuff that's not that deep. I want to be on the surface level today, okay? It's important to do that sometimes because I feel like when you're in your 20s, you're constantly questioning everything. I know recently I've been finding myself deeply analyzing everything. And that's great and all, and it's important, and it's healthy, and it's part of becoming an adult and growing up. But I don't want to do that today, and I literally want to talk about what things I've been loving recently, what products I've been loving, what activities I've been loving, etc. Just stuff that I'm enjoying right now. I think that this could be helpful because maybe you might hear something that I talk about today and say, you know what, I want to try that. I want to do that. And then maybe it'll make your life better too. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about the stuff I've been loving. The first thing on the list is Parmesan cheese. I'm starting with this because this might be the thing that I'm the most obsessed with right now. When I tell you I've been putting Parmesan cheese on everything, that is not an exaggeration. I put Parmesan cheese on anything that it could remotely taste good with. And here's why I'm obsessed with it. Number one, it's delicious. I mean, the flavor, the saltiness, the umami that it adds to any dish is honestly not talked about enough. Actually, I feel like it is talked about enough. It's talked about a lot, but I want to add to the conversation and confirm that it is the best final touch that you can add to a dish. It has everything that you need. You know what I mean? It has that little punch of saltiness, but it also has this extreme cheesy flavor. It looks pretty when you sprinkle it on top of a dish. It's just the best. It also has protein. In 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, there's 4 grams of protein. Now, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's actually a crazy amount of protein considering how small of an amount of Parmesan cheese that is. You see what I'm saying? So there's nutritional value there. You're getting some protein. It's just, I can't find something about it I don't like. I love Parmesan cheese. All of you need to go to your grocery store and get Parmesan cheese. It's a great thing to have in your fridge. I don't know why I forgot about it for a few years. Like, it wasn't in my rotation, but it's back in my rotation and I'm just loving it and I just need to share that love. Okay, moving on. Next thing is Apple AirTags for my cats. Let me explain. So an Apple AirTag is basically a little disc, just like a little plastic and metal disc the size of a quarter. And basically you can connect this little disc to your iPhone and you can basically track that little disc. So let's say you have something that's really important to you. Maybe it is a box full of your family heirlooms. Maybe it's your favorite purse, whatever it may be. You can basically attach this Apple AirTag to that thing and you can track it so you know where it is at all times. Now, I found out about this a few months ago and I was like, that sounds useful, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to hop on that bandwagon. It's a great product. It's a genius product, but I just don't care enough about it until someone in my life came to me with a genius idea. They said, Emma, you need to get Apple AirTags and connect them to a cat leash and put them on your cats. Why? Because one of my main sources of anxiety stems in where my cats are. I'm constantly frightened that my cats have escaped my house and are roaming the streets in Los Angeles, getting attacked by coyotes and getting hit by cars. That causes me a lot of discomfort and pain in my day-to-day life. So this person was like, get AirTags and put them on your cats. Now, anytime I'm freaking out because I can't find one of my cats, they're hidden in my house somewhere, I just pull up the Find My Friends app on my phone and I can see exactly where my cats are. I can see that they're in my house and that I don't need to worry and that they're just hiding somewhere and they're not outside getting eaten by a coyote. Putting AirTags on your pets is such a good idea. And you can buy little collars online that fit an Apple AirTag inside of it, basically. So now my kitties have little Apple AirTag collars on them, and I never have to worry about where they are. And if they were to get lost, I could track them very accurately and easily. And I just think it's great. So, the AirTags are a little bit expensive, but I really think that they're worth it for something like your pets, because your pets are priceless. Next, mini dustpans. Okay, listen, I bought this little mini dustpan. It's just a tiny little brush and a pan, a little tray pan, small, like the size of my hand, maybe. I bought one of those because I was frustrated with how my cats leave litter around their litter box and it just makes a mess. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to buy one of these little mini dustpans so I can just kind of scoop that up once a day when I clean their litter box and it'll be great. So I bought one and then I went back and I bought like 4 more because let me tell you, these things are so useful. Mini little dustpans can be used for so many different things. For example, if you have cats, use it for their litter. If you have a dog, you can clean up their dog food, like around where they eat. In the kitchen, if you're cooking on the counter, if you have a little mini dustpan, you can dust all of the food scraps into the dustpan, throw it into the trash. The opportunities are endless. I don't know what I've been doing without these my whole life. I don't know how I survived. I used to scoop the cat litter that was on the ground with my hands and put it back into the litter box and or throw it in the trash. And it was so, number one, foul. It was just disgusting. Like I'm touching dirty litter with my hands. But then also, it was so inconvenient. It took me like 5 minutes to scoop all of that litter from the ground and put it back into the litter box. It's ridiculous. Or when I would cook and make a mess on my kitchen counter, I would have to go and get my trash can and then I would have to take it out from under the sink and like push it up against the counter with my abdomen and like try to scoop all the trash in with my arm. No, not anymore. Not anymore, babe. Mini dustpan. Get on it. Speaking of mini things, I've been loving this mini watercolor kit. The brand is Winsor and Newton. And my dad actually got it for me because we were on a trip in New York and he is an artist and he paints paintings and stuff, whatever. And he didn't bring any of his paint equipment to New York because obviously that's just not convenient. And he kind of was in the mood to be creative. He wanted to paint. He wanted to, that's his thing. And so he went to an art store and he picked up a mini little notebook, a like little watercolor notebook with watercolor paper in it. And then he picked up this mini watercolor kit and a brush. And then he also got a permanent marker. And when we weren't hanging out together, he would go to a cafe and just sketch and paint. And I was like, oh my God, that seems so fun. And he was like, I'll get you one. So he got me the full setup. He got me the little watercolor notebook. He got me the little watercolor set. And then he got me the little permanent marker. And I didn't get a chance to use it when I was in New York. But when I got home, I started using it because one night I was very anxious and just kind of like not in a good mood, and I didn't really want to watch a movie or watch a TV show or watch YouTube or listen to a podcast. I kind of just wanted to be silent, but I also just didn't want to sit and stare at a wall. So I pulled out the watercolor stuff and I just started drawing and painting, and I had the best time. I think painting with watercolors is one of the most enjoyable painting mediums. My favorite thing to do is I'll draw something with a permanent marker, and then I'll basically color it in with the watercolors, and it's really fun. I would really recommend it. And it's great because the mini little watercolor kit comes with everything you need pretty much. It even comes with a little mini brush, and you can bring it anywhere. It's so small. So if you're traveling, if you're in a dorm room or something and you don't have a lot of space, this stuff doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's so fun. So I would really recommend it. And I'm excited to bring it with me in the future when I travel. When I first started putting things out on the internet, I was nervous because I felt like I wasn't going to do it right. I think that was one of my biggest concerns. I was concerned about the quality of what I was putting out into the world because I didn't have a lot of experience in creating content for the internet. That's why it's so great that Squarespace is here to help everyone trying to become a content creator or build any sort of online presence with their full suite of features in their all-in-one platform to help with content, selling products, building a brand, and more. Many of you may be aspiring content creators, but many of you may be more interested in starting a business. The good news is that Squarespace is great for both, and there's actually a lot of overlap. Like if you're looking to grow an online business, Squarespace's online store feature is obviously key to get your products and services out into the world. But for content creators, it's also really important to consider selling merch online to build an even bigger following. And Squarespace's social media features help both creators and sellers alike so that you can connect your social media posts and make sure everything from your site can be shared to however many followers you have. And the list doesn't end there. There are helpful analytics and SEO tools or customized mailing lists to make sure you're reaching out to the right people, and so many more features that will help out anyone looking to build an online presence. So head to squarespace.com/Emma for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code Emma to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. It's summertime. And sometimes when you're sitting in the backyard, relaxing, you realize, oh, I'm getting a little bit hungry, but you're like, I don't want to leave the house to go get something to eat. Ordering all of your summer food essentials with DashPass by DoorDash is a great way to get whatever you need. I love having barbecues in my backyard during the summer. It is my favorite thing to do. But I will tell you, I forget something at the store almost every single time. So I order it on DoorDash. During the summer of DashPass, you can save money and access members-only offers that will help you feel easy and breezy all season long. Say hello to summer savings during the summer of DashPass from DoorDash. With $0 delivery fees, exclusive items, and more than 25,000 members-only offers nationwide, DashPass by DoorDash has everything you need to make your summer memorable. With your DashPass by DoorDash membership, you can save an average of $4 to $5 on every order you place for delivery or pickup. That means on average, DashPass pays for itself when you order just twice a month. With members-only offers and items dropping every week, you'll have everything you need to make the most out of summer right at your fingertips. Shine bright during DoorDash's Summer of DashPass and get 50% off your first order up to a $15 value. Use promo code ANYTHING at checkout when you spend $12 or more. That's 50% off your first order up to a $15 value when you sign up for DoorDash during Summer of DashPass using promo code ANYTHING. Don't forget that's code ANYTHING for 50% off your first order up to a $15 value. DashPass benefits only on eligible orders that meet the minimum subtotal. Terms apply. Next, I've been loving the app Notion. So the app Notion, spelled Notion, Notion is a project management and note-taking software. Okay? I love it. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm looking at it on Google. Its company valuation is $10 billion. Are you fucking kidding me? I thought that I found like an app that nobody knew about. It's a $10 billion company. Okay, well, that's good for them because it's a great product. So basically it's an app that allows you to create really aesthetically pleasing but also convenient notes. And there's so many really great features in it that make note-taking, organizing, all of these things so much easier. For example, you can like easily link another document within a document. Like for example, oh my God, this is so complicated. I actually can't explain it. I don't have the mental strength today to explain it. Moral of the story is Notion is a great app. I've been using it to schedule my day-to-day life, write down my shopping list, write down my ongoing to-do list, like the stuff that I need to get done over the next month or so, but that's not timely, like it's not on a calendar. I write down video ideas, I write down my podcast ideas, I write down information, like if I'm traveling soon, I like write down the whole itinerary in there, and it's just so organized and it also looks good. And I've just been loving it. I use it to organize my life. I also use Google Calendar, whatever. But I think that this is really great for just having all of your ideas and everything all in one place. And I'd really recommend it. Okay, moving on. Speaking of working, I have been loving working at cafes. Funny story. I used to actually, let me get into the story. Okay. Let me start from the beginning. When I first started my YouTube channel, like years ago, it's like 5 years ago now, I used to edit my YouTube videos at a cafe every single day because I graduated high school early and I was kind of in this weird period where I still lived at home in my hometown with my parents, but I wasn't going to school anymore and all my friends were at school still. And I was graduated and now was kind of working for myself in this weird way that honestly, I can't believe it happened. And it kind of doesn't, it's very like weird scenario. But anyway, I ended up working at cafes because I would get cabin fever if I was working editing videos and responding to emails and all this stuff every day at home. So I started going to a cafe every day to get it all done. And it was nice because when I was at home, I could relax. And when I was at a cafe, I was getting shit done. And it was nice to have some separation there. It was also nice that I could go up and order a coffee at any given moment. That was amazing. And also it was social for me. You know, I wasn't getting social interaction from being at home in my mom's apartment. There was no social interaction there. And so it was just nice to have people around me while I was working. And I stopped doing that for a few years just because, I don't know, I just stopped doing it. And then recently I had this inspiration to try it again. And I've been loving it. I think that anybody who works from home should really give it a try at least once a week. I think you don't need to do it every day. I think every day it becomes too much a little bit. You know, like I don't think you need to do it every day. But if you work from home and you find yourself in a place where you're like, I just can't be in my house another day, work in a cafe. It's amazing. I do it a few times a month and I really enjoy it. It's also fun because you get to try out a new spot, you know, try out a new coffee spot maybe. It gives you an excuse to get a little dressed up. I think it's great. Speaking of working at cafes, let's talk about how I carry all of my equipment that I need to work from a cafe setting. I love backpacks. Okay, I love backpacks for traveling and for working at cafes. Those are the two moments in time when I want a backpack. Any other moment in time, I want a purse or a tote bag. But for whatever reason, in those two settings, I really, really want a backpack. And for the past few years, I was carrying a nice backpack. Like a kind of a fancy backpack, a designer backpack. And that was great. But it wasn't really actually as functional as I needed it to be. When I'm carrying a backpack, I want that shit to have a bunch of different compartments. Like I want a special spot for my laptop. I want a special spot for my phone charger. Like I want everything to have a place. And to be completely honest, I wasn't getting that out of my fancy backpack. And so I started searching for a backpack that was cool, that had all of the things I wanted, all of the different special compartments in it that I wanted, that was also not expensive. Like I just don't think a backpack needs to be expensive. And what I found was the Carhartt backpack. Carhartt makes the best backpacks. Okay. I'm obsessed with their backpacks. I got one for $50, which is pretty good for a backpack because they can be pricey for some reason. It's $50. It's just a brown canvas color. It's super neutral. It goes well with anything. It has like a cool sort of outdoorsy vibe to it. And it's extremely functional. It has a padded little area for my laptop. I mean, listen, it has the bare minimum. Like it's not like it's doing too much. I'm not saying that this backpack is revolutionary. I'm just saying that it does its job really, really well. And I actually prefer it over my fancy backpack. It's also more comfortable on your back because the fancy backpacks aren't meant to be used as like a real backpack. They're meant to be like almost a purse, right? They're not meant to be used for transporting actual things. It's like a fancy backpack is more of an accessory than it is a functional piece of equipment. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this Carhartt backpack looks badass. I look cool when I'm wearing it. That's number one. But then number two, it is doing its goddamn job. And it was $50. So I don't know. I'm into it. If that's your aesthetic and you're into it, you like the kind of outdoorsy feel, the Carhartt backpack, baby, it is good. Okay. I'm pulling a complete 180. I'm going a completely different direction. And my next thing I've been loving is gel nails. Not gel extensions, not acrylic nails, gel nails. Just my natural nail with gel nail polish on top. For some history on me, I have been getting long nails for, like 7 years, 8 years now. I've been getting extensions on my nails for so long. I don't remember what my life was like before it. And I've had phases where I've gone on and off, like I've taken a little break and then gotten back on the horse. But I've been getting long nails for so long. And don't get me wrong, I love them. I really do love them. I think that they're so pretty, and I truly appreciate the art of nails and having your nails be an accessory to your outfits. You know, I think they can even be a form of self-expression. Like I think they're fully an accessory, and I appreciate them for that. And that's why I always liked having them, because I felt like they were an extension of my self-expression in a way. Not to make it too deep. It's like, babe, we're talking about nails. Like, relax. I know. But I really did appreciate them. But I couldn't have them on for a month because I was traveling in Europe and I just didn't know where to get my nails done. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take a break from long nails, and I'm just going to get gel. Like, that's it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get appointments to get my nails done while I was traveling because I don't know, like I just didn't know. I'm unfamiliar. I was unfamiliar with the areas that I was going. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a break from the long nails. And over the course of my month break, my forced month break, shall I say, my nails grew so long and so strong that I was like, wait a minute, my natural nails actually look kind of cute. And I also fell in love with the convenience of not having long nails. When you have long nails, the amount of time and money you spend to keep them up is pretty intense. I mean, you have to get your nails done sometimes every 2 weeks. They break, and when they break, you have to go get them fixed. It's a whole thing, it's an ordeal. Having short gel nails is so incredibly easy, and it's even easier if you've done what I did, which is buy a gel nail kit. Okay, so you can do it at home. I actually bought a gel nail kit probably a year or two ago, and I was using it during COVID because I couldn't go and get my nails done. And then I stopped using it for a while, but I'm back. I'm back and I'm going in hard. I've been doing my nails myself all the time, and it's amazing because if you keep doing it yourself and you keep practicing, you actually get pretty good. So your nails actually look salon quality. That's number one. Number two, it actually becomes enjoyable and therapeutic once you kind of get good at it. Also, you're saving time and you're saving money. It's really great. Basically, in a gel nail kit, it comes with the base coat, the polish. Actually, it doesn't come with polish always, but it comes with a base coat. It comes with a top coat, and then it comes with the gel machine thing, the little LED light that you put your nails under. You can go, online and buy different gel polishes in your favorite colors and build a little collection. And it's amazing. And you can do your own little nails. I love it. I do my toes too. And it's great. Listen, are there moments when I still want to go to a salon and have that experience? Absolutely. But now I'm just getting gel nails so that my natural nail can truly become what it's always wanted to be, which is a healthy, solid nail. My nails were so damaged from getting extensions for so many years. They've been begging me to just let them be free. And I'm giving them that time, and they look really good. I've been taking care of them, and it's really paying off. The beginning is when it's the most tough because your nails look bad. Your nails look awful. They look like they're disintegrating. They're so ugly, right? When you first get the extensions off, they're short, they're brittle, they look like they're falling apart, but you give it a month and you just let them breathe and they will come back and they will grow long and strong and gorgeous and you'll be so happy, and then you can just enjoy your natural nail. And it's really, really nice. It's freeing. I literally feel free from the responsibility of having nail extensions. So anywho, moving on. Next thing I've been loving is iced peppermint tea. There's a story behind this. I was in New York with my dad, and it was about 7 p.m., and we had a dinner reservation at 8. And we didn't really want to wait in our hotel room until it was time for the reservation, but we also were kind of tired because we had been walking around all day, so we decided to pop into a little cafe. Now, it's 7 p.m. We obviously can't sit in this cafe without ordering something, but it's also 7 p.m. So we can't order a coffee. I ordered an iced peppermint tea, and it was so delicious. Not only that, but it also kind of relaxed my stomach. It had a very soothing effect on my stomach, and it was such a great thing to drink before eating a meal because it's so refreshing. It's so soothing. It kind of cleanses your palate. It was amazing. It was the perfect thing to drink before dinner. Ever since then, I've been drinking it all the time. I'll have it before I have a meal because it's just soothing. I'll have it after a meal because, again, it's soothing. I'll order it at a cafe if it's later in the evening and I don't want to get a coffee and I'm not really in the mood for that flavor or for the caffeine. Iced mint tea is such a beautiful thing. And you don't even need to add lemon. Like, you can literally drink it as is and it's good. I find with green tea And some other teas, like raspberry tea, I feel like I need to add a little bit of honey and I need to add a little bit of lemon because the flavor on its own isn't ideal for me. I just don't love it. Peppermint tea, you can just drink straight up. It's that good. Give it a try. And it's good for you. Like, it's like soothing for your tummy. And if you have tummy problems like me, it's really nice when something's soothing and rare. Okay, next, having plants that are edible. Listen, I never thought I would be the girly that would be hopping onto her podcast and telling you that you should buy plants because I have never been able to keep a plant alive, ever. That's number one. Number two, I've just never cared about having a plant. But I recently made a little garden in my backyard and I have tomatoes and some strawberries and I have a blueberry plant, which is not producing blueberries yet, but it is there. And I have a basil plant. I have a few others too, but I love this so much. You have no idea. My favorite thing to grow is herbs like basil, dill, whatever, rosemary, thyme, like parsley, cilantro, like growing things like that is incredible. And here's why. Because when you buy herbs from the grocery store, they go bad so fast. Okay. They go bad in like one day. I swear to God, especially basil. But they're so delicious. Like they're so amazing. They add so much to a dish, but they're just impossible to have fresh and in their best shape unless you grow them yourself. And so I have been loving having herb plants in my backyard. I also love growing things like tomatoes and strawberries and, things like that. It's just a little bit more difficult for one. And for two, the plants don't produce that much, right? Unless you have a massive garden. So it's more like I go out there and have a little snack. Like I'll pluck a few cherry tomatoes and eat them, or I'll pluck a few strawberries and eat them. It's more of a snack thing. Whereas with these herbs, I add them to everything. For example, I've been making my own homemade pesto constantly. Like it's constantly in my rotation. It's always in my fridge. And I'm obsessed. It's so easy. The way I just said I'm obsessed was so cringe. And I'm obsessed. It's like, shut up. But I am obsessed. I'm not lying. Here's my pesto recipe, okay? I get out my food processor. I shove in, I don't know, a cup and a half of basil, a few cloves of garlic, anywhere between 2 and 4, probably 3 to 4 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, a 1/4 cup of lightly salted pistachios, salt, pepper, a little bit of chili flakes, and olive oil. And I blend it up. I basically just add olive oil. I stream it in to the food processor until I'm at a consistency that I'm into. You don't want to add all the olive oil all at once. You want to slowly add it because that helps with the texture of the pesto. But it's delicious. I love it. It's so, so good. And it's so easy. And I made it with my own basil plant. Like there's something so rewarding about that. I'd really recommend it. Oh, you can also grow mint. How did I forget about this? I've been growing mint too, like mint leaves. And you can make tea with that. And I've been doing that too. I use peppermint tea bags sometimes, but I also, if I'm feeling crazy, just use fresh mint from my garden. Wow, it's awesome. Okay, anyway. Also, basil plants and mint plants and all these little herb plants, they're small. Like you don't need to have a lot of space to grow them. And that's why I think they're so amazing. Moving on. Okay, this next thing is so random, but I can't get over it. So I'm going to talk about it. The other day I was in the airport and I'd just gotten off a very long flight and I was really, really hungry. But the line to all of the food places was too long. And also I really didn't want to eat airport food because it never is good. Sorry, it's just not. And so I popped into one of those little bookstores that they have in the airport. and I was picking out some snacks, and I looked over at the travel essentials area, and I saw these socks, and immediately euphoria and nostalgia rushed through my body in veins, because these socks used to be my favorite kind of socks when I was younger. They are aloe infused socks, specifically by the brand Earth Therapeutics. I don't know if other brands of aloe vera infused socks are good, but I don't care because I'm loyal to this brand, because I have been obsessed with these since I was a child. When I was younger, they were all that I wore. They're basically ultra soft aloe vera infused socks. That's what it is. Okay. But there's something about the texture of them, about the material, the feeling. I can't even express it through words. Like, you just have to feel it. They're the most comfortable, incredible socks on this planet. And you definitely can't wear them out and about, you know, or at least you shouldn't. I used to when I was a child, because when you're a child, you do whatever you want. But nowadays, like, I would not wear these in public. Okay. I just wouldn't. They're fuzzy and they're weird looking kind of. But when you're just walking around the house, they are the most luxurious, incredible socks you'll ever wear. And I bought a pair when I was in the airport. When I saw them, I immediately bought a pair. And while I was on my trip, I had these little aloe socks with me that I bought in the airport when I landed. And I just wore them around my hotel room, and I loved it. It made me feel more at home, and I just love them. And now that I'm home, I'm still wearing them. I wear them all the time. They're amazing. So aloe vera infused socks are the move. And if you really want to get specific, Earth Therapeutics brand. Wowie. Very good. Okay, next. This next thing is kind of obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway because some of us need a reminder. And it's that IKEA is one of the most incredible places on the planet. IKEA, if you're unaware, is a furniture home goods store, and it has everything. I'm not kidding. It has everything. I hadn't been into an IKEA in probably 3 years, but I decided to go recently because I'm moving into my new home. Also, my mom just moved, so we both just moved, and so we needed some stuff, and we decided to pop into IKEA, and I just can't express how incredible they really are. For example, I wanted to buy a bunch of containers because I've been really into organizing, and I needed a few more containers. And so I was looking for some specific stuff. IKEA had so many different little containers and bins and stuff like that that were perfect for what I needed. And not only that, they were so much cheaper than any of the other containers I had bought throughout my moving process. I spent so much more money on containers than I needed to because I wasn't going to IKEA. At IKEA, a container is $1. At another place, a container is $7. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a huge, huge difference. Not only that, they have so much cute stuff. I bought this super cute mirror. I bought a bunch of cute stuff for my kitchen. I saw a bunch of cute pieces of furniture that I wish I had seen sooner because I would have bought it. Like, IKEA is the spot. If you're moving, you can really get creative with stuff that you find at IKEA, and the price is right. I don't think that you can find home goods for a more affordable price than IKEA, and it's good quality and it looks good. I forgot about IKEA, and I think rediscovering it made me feel passionate, which is why I'm borderline screaming right now. But ignore my passion and take my word for it. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It's truly amazing. And if you haven't been in a while, pop in because you might find something that you didn't even know you needed. Next, speaking of shopping, recently I ordered the most incredible reusable shopping bags I've ever used. They're by the brand Ekoh, which is EKOH. And they're basically just massive reusable canvas tote bags for groceries. And they're incredible. But let me explain why they're so good. So the material that they're made out of is canvas, but it's waxy. So it's solid. It has some body to it. It's not flimsy. It's solid. On top of that, they're large, so they can fit a bunch of stuff. Finding the right reusable shopping bag is life-changing because I was somebody that hated my reusable shopping bags to a point where I feel like I would subconsciously forget them on purpose. Does that make sense? I didn't mean to forget them when I'd go to the store, but I would. And I think deep down my brain was purposely forgetting. Does that make sense? I feel like my brain was forgetting on purpose just because deep down it hated my reusable grocery bags so much. Finding these was life-changing because I never forget them because I'm so obsessed with them and how great that they are that every time I'm going to the grocery store, I'm like, wow, I'm so excited that I get to use my waxy canvas tote bags again. They're also cute. Like they're really, really cute. I really love them. They're great to bring to a farmer's market too because they fit so much stuff and they're so durable and they're just amazing. So obviously, the brand that I bought is Eco, EKOH, but there's probably a bunch of other brands out there that make really, really amazing waxed canvas tote bags, extra large, as big as you can get. They're so good. Next, pivoting back to home decor. As I mentioned earlier, I recently moved into a new spot, and I can't tell you how amazing Etsy has been for finding cool stuff to decorate my place with. Actually, it's funny because Etsy is a sponsor of Anything Goes, but me saying this right now is not sponsored. Like I'm saying this because it's just true. But I found the most badass shit off of Etsy. And I've been ordering off of Etsy for years, but I rediscovered it when I was decorating my place. And I've gotten some badass homemade stuff for such good prices. And it's so unique. Like, it's just the best. Don't get me wrong, going to a place like Target or West Elm or whatever, like places like that, going there for cute decor items is fun, but also deep down you know that you can only be so unique with that stuff, right? It's so fun to go on Etsy and find cool vintage knickknacks to throw around your house. Because number one, it feels like a treasure hunt. But number two, you know that there's a good chance that you're one of the only people that has that in your house because it's unique. I personally go on Etsy to find vintage stuff and handmade stuff. Like those are the worlds that I exist in. They also have a lot of books on there too. Like if you want to get some cool, old, vintagey, stinky books to throw around your place, Etsy has amazing books, which is kind of something you wouldn't expect. But I bought a bunch of cool old books, and what's cool about it is they look cool as decor, but they also are fun to look at. So Etsy, I don't know. It's working for me. Next, I'm in a matcha phase. I've been drinking more matcha than I have coffee, and it's so weird because coffee is my thing. Like I drink it every day, multiple times a day. It's been a part of my life every single day for as long as I can remember, literally. But for whatever reason, I've just been craving matcha, and I've been making matcha every day, which is weird because I used to make matcha only on special occasions, but I've been drinking it every day. And my recipe is matcha, water, caramel nut pod creamer, and ice. And that's it. And let me tell you, it is so good. I will say though, all matcha tastes different. I use my matcha, the Chamberlain Coffee matcha, because that one's my personal favorite. I mean, it would be weird if it wasn't, right? That would be a really bad sign. But the Chamberlain Coffee matcha is very, it's kind of nutty and it's not super bitter, which I like. I tend to enjoy more mild, nuttier matchas. So if you're not a matcha fan, It might just be because you haven't tried the right one. So keep trying them and find one that's mild and nutty, because that's been the key for me. But it's so good. It's just so good. That recipe that I just mentioned is so good. Give it a go. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you've only tried matcha a few times, try making it at home. Because sometimes when you go out and get matcha from a cafe, it's not good. Like, they're not using good stuff. So buy high quality matcha and make it for yourself at home, because a lot of times that actually ends up tasting better. So give it a chance. Next, speaking of edible stuff, because matcha is edible, I guess. This is very specific, but I'm bringing it up anyway. Melinda's original habanero hot sauce. This is my favorite hot sauce. One time when I was in New York, I was grocery shopping because I like to get groceries, kind of. Not really groceries, but snacks. I like to get snacks for myself, for my hotel room. And I bought some hard-boiled eggs because I'm weird and I like hard-boiled eggs. Okay, like sue me, whatever. I love them. I don't know why. It's weird, but I really do like them. So I was buying hard-boiled eggs and I was like, ooh, I want to try a new hot sauce to eat with my hard-boiled eggs, because for whatever reason, that's a good combination. And randomly, I just picked up Melinda's original habanero hot sauce. Turns out it's the best hot sauce I've ever had. In New York, it was easy to find. I saw it at multiple grocery stores after that point. But when I got back to California, I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't at any grocery stores. So I drove to a store that specifically sells hot sauce only. That's all that they sell, so that I could buy it. That is not an exaggeration. If you want to know what I'm talking about, if you're in the LA area, at the Grove, which is a mall, there is a farmer's market sort of area that's set up every day. And within that, there is a store that sells just hot sauce. That's it. And I bought it from there. I drove all the way there to get that. And that's how worth it is. You can also order it online, but there's something about it. It is so good. I don't know. I mean, I drove like 35, 40 minutes to get it. So that should tell you something. While we're on the topic of edible things, I'm going to do another one. Flavored nuts in general. Now listen, I know I've talked about before my obsession with salt and vinegar flavored pistachios. I've discovered that there's so much more out there. Those are delicious, but thinking that the salt and vinegar pistachios are as good as it gets is completely inaccurate. I recently tried spicy dill pickle flavored almonds. Delicious. Chili lime peanuts. Delicious. Jalapeno cheddar peanuts. Delicious. Buffalo almonds. Delicious. There are so many good flavored nuts out there. I just think it's an underrated snack. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to move on. You can do it that way you want. If you see a weird flavored nut at your local grocery store and it kind of slightly intrigues you, pick it up because you won't regret it. You'll love it. You'll love it. And it's so fun. There's something so fun about it. Speaking of fun and food, I am really getting back into cereal. I loved cereal growing up, but I just didn't eat it for probably 10 years because I just stopped caring. But recently I started caring again. And my two favorite cereals are number 1, 3 Wishes. That's the brand. And number 2, Off Limits. These brands make cereals that give you the feeling that you're eating a childhood cereal. It doesn't feel like a health food cereal. It feels like you're eating normal cereal. But the ingredients are just much better. It's less processed and freaky and weird. You know, it doesn't have scary corn syrups and shit in it. The ingredients are simple and they're still really delicious. So those two brands are killing it in the cereal game. I haven't enjoyed like any other cereals that have had better ingredients. I just haven't enjoyed them. These are the first ones I've truly enjoyed. Moving on, pulp chips. Maybe this shit is all so LA. Like me being like these like specific cereal brands that are like so specific. I don't know. Like I feel like these are things that you could only find in LA because they're so specific. But I'm going to put them out there anyway because why not? Pulp chips. What are these, you may ask? They're basically chips that are made out of the pulp, the unused parts. Wait, let me Google it. Okay. Oh, you can get them on Thrive Market, which is like a website that you can order groceries on. Anyway. Okay, so what are pulp chips? Pulp chips are snackable veggie chips that are made with farm fresh, surplus, or otherwise unloved organic produce sourced from local farms and juiceries. So basically, they take vegetables that were basically just going to rot and not get eaten, and they turn them into chips. And it sounds like it would be really, really gross. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It sounds foul. They are so good. They have a salt and vinegar flavor. They have a jalapeno lime flavor. They have a barbecue flavor. They're so good. And it's cool that they're made out of vegetables and some other ingredients, but you know, they're made out of stuff that would have otherwise just kind of gone to waste. And I think that that's cool and creative, and they taste really good. I'm not going to lie. The idea of the product is great, but if they tasted like shit, I wouldn't be talking about them. They genuinely are tasty. Very much would recommend. I will say though that calling them pulp chips, P-U-L-P, pulp, kind of makes me nauseous. The word pulp makes me sick, which is actually why I picked them up in the first place at the store, because I saw them on the shelf and I was like, pulp chips? That sounds disgusting. But then I was intrigued, so I read about them and then I was like, wait, maybe I'll pick them up. And then now I love them. So I'm just confused, but they're awesome. And you know what? That's all I got for today, you guys. That is all I got. That's all the stuff I've been loving. Maybe you'll give some of these things a try. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've been loving. Tweet me, DM me on Instagram, whatever. And yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I'm like winded. Whenever I talk about stuff that I like, I talk so passionately and fast that I end up exhausting myself. But anywho, thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you want to let me know the stuff you've been loving, you can tweet me at AG Podcast or DM me on Instagram, comment on my Instagram posts at Anything Goes. You can follow Anything Goes anywhere that you stream podcasts. And that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you next week. Bye.